Judgment of Paris is a defining moment for the Napa Valley. Tasting was done blind, of course, and it was the Stag's Leap Wine Cellars 1973 S.L.V. And this was all culminated in a small article called The Judgment of Paris, documenting this great American victory over what the French were most known for.
People immediately understood that it was something special, and it was a moment of validation.
This year would be the 50th anniversary of that vintage. A lot changes in 50 years, both in the vineyards and in the winemaking. But the one thing that is constant is the place. I think one thing about 2023 vintage that is not planned, but just happened, is that the growing season wound up being very, very similar to 1973.
Harvest is the time of the year in which our instincts guide our daily decisions.
Harvest decision, like when are the grapes ready, is like the hardest decision, right? And it's also one that you can't put the grapes back. So when the skins have that nice sweet tannin, the structure that I'm looking for, that's when I'll call our vineyard manager. Guillermo, it's time to pick.
When Marcus calls the first pick of the year, it feels great. Harvest is like a big city at night. We have the harvest lights going, tractors, trailers pulling the miracle bins full of clusters. We have vineyard crews harvesting the clusters at a very intense rate. So it's a lot of organized chaos, and it's fun to manage and see how everything comes together and bring it to the winery.
Our Cabernet Sauvignon is harvested from our estate vineyards at night. That is great for the grapes because they're picked at the coolest part of the day. It's also great for the workers. They're being harvested, they're hand-picked into small bins, put into about a half a ton, and then immediately brought up to the winery, within 30 minutes, are picking up those grapes and then tipping them onto our sorting tables to sort out if there's anything that's not perfect. And then those grapes then fall into our destemmer, where again, we're removing the stems, removing things that are green. What we do is not a recipe. You have to take every vintage one at a time, and that means not necessarily doing the same thing every day. Those are the types of wines that you can put down in the cellar for 20, 30 years and are very rewarding.
The next 50 years look like we are not only improving upon the craft, but also being good stewards of the land, creating regenerative agriculture, because the place is special enough that deserves to continue to grow grapes for hundreds of years.